Hey there, welcome back to the channel. I'm James, and today we're diving into something fascinating. 5 powerful things you can say that almost no woman can resist. Sounds intriguing, right? Now let me ask you this. Have you ever wondered, what can I say to make her truly fall for me? Well, here's the thing. Most people focus on surface-level tricks, but the real magic lies in understanding psychology and even a bit of philosophy. Yes, Stoicism plays a subtle yet powerful role in shaping how we interact and connect. Some of the tips I'm about to share might feel surprising, maybe even a little unconventional, but they're grounded in the timeless principles of emotional intelligence and self-mastery. Stick with me until the end, and I promise it'll all come together in a way that makes perfect sense. Ready to level up your game? Before we dive in, take a moment to subscribe if you're ready to transform how you handle relationships using the power of Stoicism. Every video is a step toward mastering your mindset and building stronger, more meaningful connections. All right, let's dive into this, because trust me, what I'm about to share could change the way you connect with women, maybe even change the way you view attraction altogether. Over the years, I've noticed something really interesting. When a man genuinely likes a woman, he often ends up saying things that unintentionally push her away instead of drawing her in. Sounds a bit counterintuitive, right? But believe me, it happens more often than you think. Let me paint a picture for you. Think back to those moments when you really liked someone. Maybe you've found yourself saying all the sweet things you think she wants to hear, showering her with compliments, maybe even overdoing it a little. It feels natural, right? Like, if you don't express how amazing she is, who will? I've been there too, caught in that urge to make her feel special, thinking that if I say the right words, she'll feel the same way. But here's the kicker. That kind of energy, especially when it's not in balance, can actually push her away. It's a bit of a paradox, don't you think? Let me explain why. The first rule when it comes to giving compliments is simple but powerful. She needs to feel like she's earning the compliment. I know, this might sound a little strange at first, but trust me, it's important. When you shower her with praise too often, it can start to feel less like admiration and more like desperation. It's like telling her she's amazing over and over, but if it's not spaced out or tied to specific moments, it loses its impact. Imagine this. Every time you see her, you're telling her how great she looks or how nice she is. Sure, she'll appreciate it, but soon it might just start feeling like background noise. But what if you flipped the script? What if you let your compliments unfold like a story? Each day you notice something new about her that's special, something different that catches your eye or makes you appreciate her in a new light. It's not about just filling the air with nice words. It's about letting her feel like she's winning you over bit by bit. And trust me, that subtle shift makes all the difference. When you take your time and let things develop naturally, your words will land with so much more meaning. Here's the second part of the puzzle. Make your compliments unique and personal. Don't just give her the same old "you have beautiful eyes" line. How many guys have said that to her? A million, right? So if you're looking to stand out, you need to dig a little deeper. Compliment her on something that only she has. Maybe it's her sense of humor, the way she lights up when she talks about something she loves, or that little quirk that makes her so unique. It's the things that go beyond the obvious, the surface-level beauty that everyone notices. That's what makes you different. Now, I'm not saying compliments aren't important, they absolutely are. But the Stoics, the ancient philosophers who knew a thing or two about relationships, would tell you that the key to truly connecting with someone isn't just about saying the right things at the right time. It's about being intentional with your words, showing her you understand her deeper qualities, and making her feel like she's earned every compliment you give. Remember, women, like all of us, are constantly searching for meaning. The more thoughtful and intentional you are, the more she'll appreciate your words. And if you can balance this with a little patience, letting her feel like she's slowly discovering your admiration for her, well, that's where the magic happens. When you do it right, you create an experience that feels real, that feels earned, and that keeps her coming back for more. So next time you're with her, think about how you can break the mold, Let your compliments tell a story, make them unique, and make her feel like she's a part of something bigger, because that's the kind of connection that lasts. All right, here's something I call the golden mirror. And trust me, this little trick can have a massive impact on how she sees you. It's simple, but it's surprisingly powerful. Here's how it works. Let's say she tells you about something she's passionate about, like maybe she wants to be a psychiatrist. Instead of just saying, "Oh, that's cool," which, let's be honest, sounds pretty generic, you flip the script and go deeper. You could say something like, "You know, you're so easy to talk to. I can totally see you being the kind of person people trust to open up to. Honestly, I feel like I've already shared things with you that I don't tell anyone else." Now, why does this work? First off, it's personal. It's genuine. You're not just throwing out a compliment to fill the space. You're making her feel seen. You're recognizing something special in her, something she might not even realize others see. And here's the secret sauce. Always end it on a playful note to keep things light and fun. For example, you could add, "Too bad you're such a goofball, though," and give her a wink or a playful grin. That little touch of humor keeps things from getting too heavy and makes her feel at ease. Plus, it shows you don't take everything too seriously, which is really important. You're creating an environment where she can feel comfortable being herself. And here's where the magic really happens. Not only does this make her feel amazing, but it also sends a powerful message about you. You're not just any guy who'll take whatever he can get. No, you're different. You're showing her that you're selective, that you're not just handing out compliments left and right. By saying something like, "I feel like I've already shared things with you I don't tell anyone else," you're actually flipping the script. You're putting the ball in her court in a way that makes her feel like she has to earn your attention. You're showing her that she has to impress you. Think about it. Most guys come across as if they'll take whatever attention they can get, right? But when you're selective and show that you're choosy about where you direct your energy, you immediately raise your value in her eyes. She starts thinking, "Wait a minute, I have to impress him." And that's when things start to shift. It's like flipping a switch in her mind that makes her want to work harder to earn your affection. She'll start putting in the effort, and before you know it, she'll be the one trying to win you over. This is where the principles of Stoicism come into play. The Stoics were all about inner strength, self-control, and not being swayed by external circumstances. What does this have to do with attraction? Well, Stoicism teaches you to be calm, collected, and self-assured in your interactions. By being selective with your attention and compliments, you're embodying that very mindset. You're not throwing your energy at every woman who comes your way. Instead, you're showing that you value your time, your energy, and your choices. By doing this, you're demonstrating self-respect and confidence, two traits that are incredibly attractive. The Stoics believed that we must not be dependent on others for our sense of worth. This trick, using the golden mirror, shows that you're not desperate for validation. You're confident enough in who you are to take your time, enjoy the process, and let things unfold naturally. When she sees that you're not desperate for her approval, but that you genuinely value her for who she is, that's when she starts to invest more in winning you over. And let's be honest, everyone loves a challenge, right? So remember, the next time she shares something about herself, try out the golden mirror technique. Compliment her in a way that shows you've noticed something truly special about her, but keep it playful and fun. Be selective, show her that she has to earn your attention, and let the power of attraction work in your favor. Trust me, she'll be hooked before you know it. Here's the thing about women. They're what I like to call meaning makers. They're always looking for deeper reasons behind what you say and do. For example, let's say you show up to a date with a bouquet of roses and reservations at a high-end restaurant. The message she might take from that: "Wow, he must really be into me. Maybe he's not used to dating someone like me." That's why it's so important to think about the hidden meaning she might assign to your words or actions, even if it's not what you intended. And here's another key insight. The harder it is for her to figure out your intentions, the more she'll obsess over trying to decode you. Women are drawn to a bit of mystery. If you're too predictable or easy to read, the excitement fades fast. That's why I always tell people, If a woman figures you out too quickly, you're done. Women don't want someone who's an open book. They want someone who keeps them on their toes, someone who's a bit of a puzzle. So, how do you do this? One way is to keep things ambiguous. For example, tell her you like her, but then follow it up with something playful like teasing her or pulling back a little. These mixed signals keep her guessing and engaged. It's a mental challenge that's highly addictive for her. Oh, and there's this really interesting hand-holding technique I teach that combines those mixed signals with a touch of excitement. It creates a moment that's so unique, she won't stop thinking about it. I'll explain exactly how to do it in just a second. But first, let me say this. Like anything else, these techniques need to be used carefully. If you overdo them, they lose their magic. The key is timing and moderation. It took me a lot of trial and error to figure out the perfect sequence to make them work even better, and I'll share all of that with you in just a moment. But first, here's a little secret. Using her name during your conversation, especially while making eye contact, works like magic. It might seem like such a small thing, but it creates an instant sense of connection and intimacy. Think about it. Have you ever had someone lock eyes with you and say your name? It feels different, doesn't it? Almost like there's this little spark, something unspoken but powerful. That's exactly what happens when you use her name. It's subtle, but it gets her attention and makes her wonder, is there something special between us? All right, before we jump back in, if you're finding this helpful, hit that like button. It helps YouTube share this with more men who need it, and it keeps the content coming. It's quick, free, and it makes a real difference. Thanks. Let's get back to it. Now let's talk about a fun technique called future projection. It's all about planting a playful idea of the future in her mind. Here's an example you can try. After taking a selfie with her, say something like, "Wow, we'd make the cutest babies," and then quickly change the subject. What you're doing here is sneaky, but effective. You're introducing the idea of a future with you in a lighthearted way, and as a bonus, she might start imagining being closer to you in ways she hadn't before. But here's a big tip about what not to do. Stop trying to say exactly what you think she wants to hear. A lot of guys talk too much and it ends up ruining the vibe. Worse, it can completely kill the attraction. One of the biggest mistakes you can make is revealing your feelings too soon. Look, I get it. When you like someone, you want to tell them. But saying "I like you" right off the bat, that's like popping a balloon. It takes away the excitement, the mystery, the fun guessing game that keeps her interested. When you tell her too soon how you feel, here's what happens in her mind. "Oh, he likes me already? That means I have all the power." And for some reason, that power shift can make her lose interest. There's actually a psychological reason for this. Most women dream of that magical moment when they get to confess their feelings. It's a big deal for them. So, when you're the one to spill the beans first, especially too early, you're stealing that special moment. Here's the truth. When a woman falls in love, there's a process, a predictable journey she goes through. If you understand how this process works, you can guide her through it. The key is to make her feel like it's all her idea. You've probably heard the saying, "People love to buy but hate being sold." The same applies here. She has to feel like she's the one choosing you, not the other way around. Everything you do should feel effortless and natural. If she ever feels like you're trying to convince her to like you or that you're pushing too hard, her subconscious will slam the brakes. She won't know exactly why, but something will feel off. And just like that, the connection could fade. Here's the bottom line. You can't force someone to like you. If you try, it'll come across as needy or desperate, and that's never attractive. Instead, your job is to be the challenge she craves. Make her feel like she's earning your attention, like she's the one winning you over. When you do this right, it's game-changing. There's a fascinating difference between the way men's and women's brains are wired. Instead of letting this confuse you, like it does for most guys, you can actually use it to your advantage. When you know how to work with these differences, you'll find it much easier to spark a woman's interest and even make her fall for you. Here's the thing. The techniques I'm sharing with you today are powerful on their own, but when you use them in the right order, it's like flipping a switch. Suddenly, everything changes. Even if she doesn't see you as her type, or maybe she's already turned you down, or even thinks of you as just a friend, you can still change how she feels. I've seen it happen time and time again. Heck, I've experienced it myself. In fact, I recently published a video where I break down the exact steps to make her want you, and not just want you, but get her chasing you instead of the other way around. Imagine that. You're not just chasing her, you're getting her intrigued, wondering what comes next and feeling like she's the one trying to impress you. And trust me, that's a game changer. What's crucial, though, is knowing how to move smoothly from one stage to the next without making it too obvious. You don't want her to feel like you've got a checklist that you're ticking off. You want to keep her guessing, to leave her with that sense of mystery that makes her want more of you. That's exactly what I dive into in the video. How to advance things naturally in a way that makes her feel like she's the one winning you over. And when you get it right, it's way easier to turn things into a real relationship because it feels like it was her idea all along. I mean, who doesn't like the feeling that they've won someone over, right? But listen, even if you've already made some mistakes, it's not the end of the world. You can reset the situation. You can undo those missteps. You can hit the refresh button and give yourself a second shot. You can escape that dreaded friend zone. I've seen it happen. I've been there. It's all about understanding that things can shift and you can regain control. Most guys, though, they don't think this far. They try the basic tactics, like waiting to text back or playing the "I'm too busy" game. But here's the thing, that's predictable. It doesn't stand out because honestly, it's what every guy does. It's nothing special, it's surface level. What I teach here is different. This isn't about playing games. It's about truly understanding the psychology of attraction. It's about getting inside her head and knowing how romance works from her perspective. What I'm talking about here goes deeper. You're not staying on the surface, throwing out empty compliments and hoping for the best. No, you're digging deeper, layer by layer, creating a real connection. That's where the magic happens. That's where she starts to feel like she's falling for you, not because of some tactic you used, but because she genuinely feels it. And here's where the Stoic mindset plays a huge role. In Stoicism, we learn the importance of not being controlled by our emotions or external circumstances. When it comes to relationships, this translates into not chasing after someone desperately. Instead, you build a calm, grounded sense of self-worth. You show up as a man who isn't driven by neediness or validation, but by strength and clarity. You take your time. You don't force things. By applying this Stoic perspective, you exude confidence and patience. You make her earn your attention, and in doing so, you elevate your value in her eyes. And remember, this approach isn't just for starting relationships. It's about building something real, something lasting. When you approach attraction with intention, understanding, and a steady mindset, you're not just trying to get her. You're creating a space where a genuine connection can grow. And that's the kind of bond that lasts. So, if you want to dive deeper into these strategies, check out my previous video where I break it all down step by step. Trust me, the more you understand the psychology behind attraction, the easier it gets to create that irresistible dynamic where she's the one chasing you. It's not about playing games. It's about becoming the best version of yourself and letting her see that. Keep in mind, this is a journey. You're not going to get everything perfect right away, but every step you take gets you closer to building that real, meaningful connection. Stay true to who you are and let her come to you. If you've made it this far, I know you're serious about improving your relationships. Stick with me, and I'll continue sharing everything you need to know to attract the right woman and build something incredible together. If this advice resonates with you, I've got plenty more to share. Consider becoming a member of this channel for exclusive tips and strategies. And if you're ready to level up your life, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. It's a small way to show your support, and it helps me keep creating content for you. Oh, and drop a comment below with the phrase, I am the most attractive man to women. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Feel free to share what's on your mind. Stay positive, keep pushing forward, and until next time, take care.